you will see the usage of switch case will simplify the problem very much. You can use some alternate methodology in place of these switch cases, like you can use multiple if loops. In these cases of switch case, you can use if else if conditions, but these switch cases can simplify the problem, means they are not the unique way to solve a particular problem. And unlike the this break and continue statement, yes, these switch cases can be replaced with if else if statements, but they are more advantageous if you use them in a particular problem. Okay, so let me give you a example of switch case. Okay, directly with the help of flowchart I can give an example. Suppose if there is an expression, okay, if there is an expression, and this expression or this variable or this condition is actually allow you to go in different directions, in multiple directions. For example, if you choose, if you assign a variable, let's say a is equal to operation 1 and b to operation 2, c to operation 3, d to operation 4, right? And if you want to in a particular problem, you want to choose any of the operation from these 4 operations, and then after choosing this, after choosing this particular thing, you are supposed to conduct a different set of instructions. You are supposed to perform, the compiler is supposed to perform different set of tasks or different set of instruction based on this selection. For example, suppose if there is an expression and you have 4 different cases for that particular expression, the result of that expression can yield you 4 different results. And for all the results, for all different results, let's say if the value of this expression is equals to 1, then it will do something like this. It will run block 1, block 1 of statements. If the value of that expression is suppose equal to second case, then it will perform, the compiler will run different set of instructions, block 2, let's say. Okay, or in other case, in different case, let's say the expression value is slightly different, then it will run another block of instruction. Similarly 4 or 5, anything, any. So basically the switch cases have options of compiling different blocks of program depending on the need. Depending on the need. कि आपको किसी पर्टिकुलर ब्लॉक की ही जरूरत है उस प्रोग्राम में, बाकी ब्लॉक्स की जरूरत नहीं है. What I mean to say by block, you will see in an example. But before that, I want to give you the idea of syntax of these switch cases. So the syntax of these switch cases are, I have to write switch, and in this bracket I have to write a particular case, which case I want to go into, and with this switch I have to write a keyword case, and then the variable which is entered by the user, in place of this expression, So as soon as the compiler encounters this word switch, it will ask the user to enter something, and whatever user enters into this position, then compiler will run the block of the program which is defined by this particular something, which is defined by this particular expression. Okay, then I can write some codes inside a curly bracket, which I am calling as block 1. Similarly, I can make a different case. And for that particular case, if my user want to execute that particular case, then I will write some blocks, some codes inside the body of this case 2. Similarly, for case 3 also, I can make something like this. So, right, case 4 also I can make something like this. Okay, this has to be semicolon. This has to be colon, double colon. Right. So suppose, okay, the best example of the switch cases is, suppose I want to take two numbers from the user. I want to take two numbers from the user, and I want to perform different operations on these two numbers. Let's say I want to take n1 and n2 from the user, and I want to perform different operations on these two numbers, but I will ask the user first which operation you want to perform on these two numbers. So let's say I want to perform, I can either perform plus, let's say, or I can perform minus, I can perform multiply, I can perform division of these two numbers, and I want to ask the user which particular operation he wants to perform on these two numbers. So what I will do is, by using switch cases, let's say I will use a keyword, not a keyword, I will use a variable, let's say operator. So instead of this expression, I will use operator, switch operator, case 1. Constant 1 means case 1, which is, okay, I can write, which is, let's say, plus. Because this plus is character, I have to write it in a single quotation. Case 2, in case 2, let's say the condition is true. subtract these numbers. Case 3 is the multiplication of these numbers. Case 4 is the division of these numbers, right? And in these blocks, I will simply take the output Cout. Result is, okay, you can beautify it by writing you have choose to add the given numbers, and the result is n1 plus n2. Similarly, in this case 2, you can write Cout. Result is n1 minus n2. In this case, you can write Cout. Result is n1 into n2. Similarly, in this, you can write result n1 divided by n2. So, what does this switch operator will do? This will ask the user which operation in which particular case the user wants to go. As soon as compiler encounters this keyword switch, it will ask the user in which operator, in which case does he wants to go. And we have made all these different cases. And as soon as the user enters this particular case, I want to go into this case, the compiler will run the codes written inside this case only. All the other cases will be skipped, and directly compiler will come to this another portion of this switch statements are default. If any of the case, if user does not select any of the case, it will directly go to the default. But if this user selects any of the case, then it will go to the case and it will not go to the default. You have to understand this. So default will be the case, you can say default is a kind of case when user has not selected any of the case. So in this you can write, let's say entered operation is not defined in our library, in our code, in our program. So these switch cases you can see can be used to select a particular case as per the wish of the user. So this you can say by using this switch cases, I can make a simple calculator which will give you the result of 4 different operations, and user has to select that particular operation. Okay, let's make this code. It will be more clear if I make this code. So first, what I want to what I have to do is I have to define a variable for switch case. That is, I am defining as char type operator variable. Okay. I am defining a char type operator variable, which I will be using in my switch case which I will be using as my switch case variable. I am finding 2 different numbers for type because I have to perform division also. And then I am choosing a particular value to a operator. I want to ask from the user which operator he wants to perform on given 2 numbers. Let's say plus, minus, multiply, and divide. Okay, something like this. It will be printed as it is, so it is not a problem.
So percentage.
No, I just want to see the division of these numbers. Okay, not percentage. I want to see the division of these two numbers. Okay, I want to this particular operator, whatever the character user is entering into the variable operator. Okay, this operator is actually going to be an orange color. So I am guessing this operator is a standard keyword of this C++. So I am changing it to something else. So I will use operator 1. When you are declaring any variable and it changes to orange color, then please change that name slightly. Okay. Otherwise, it will consider that variable as a standard keyword, which can be anything. So just try to avoid that. So I am entering this operator into a variable operator 1. I will ask the number from the user, enter first number, and I want to see in this number into n1. Similarly, I will also ask the user for second number, and I will enter that number into n2. I will enter this number into n2. Right, now I have all the operation, all the things. I have a variable with operator 1 which will define which operation we want to do. We have both the numbers n1 and n2, and all these three things we are taking from the user. Now I will write switch in bracket. I will write operator 1, right, the keyword which I will be using for switch case. There is no need to place semicolon after switch. And in the body of this switch case, I will define different cases. Case 1, which will be when the user entered, okay, I have to use single colon, when the user entered plus sign. So these I am defining, actually these I am defining different cases. So for first case, cout, I will write cout, you choose to add even numbers and result is n1 plus n2. As simple as that. So suppose if user enters this plus sign, then this switch operator 1 is plus is stored into the variable operator 1. So switch plus will go directly to the line 18th. Will go directly to the line 18. And you can, okay, after this you can define second case, second acceptable case, you can say. Will write for case negative, you choose to subtract given numbers and result is n1 minus n2, right? Similarly, you can also define case 3, you choose to multiply given numbers and result is n1 cross n2. Similarly, next case you can make any number of cases. You choose to divide given numbers and result is n1 by n2. Okay, now you have to close the switch cases. This switch, the curly bracket curly bracket will start just after the switch and curly bracket will end as soon as you define all the cases. And in last, according to format, you have to write default. If suppose user does not enter anything which matches with your cases, then it will execute the block which is written after the default. So default, you can write invalid operation, trying to perform invalid operation. Right, and then you can, after this you can break the statement, break the switch case. After default you have to use break. You can break the switch case. Okay, then a curly bracket to end this program. Okay, there is curly bracket. So in short, in this program, what you have done, you have defined a variable which we will be using in switch cases. You are asking the user for a particular operator. You are storing that operation, you are storing that case into a variable operator 1. You are storing two numbers entered by the user in variable n1 and 2. Then you are using switch cases, and this switch case will define different cases, and compiler will execute one of the case depending on the operator entered by the user. Right, so you can see this switch case actually enables you to choose different scenarios as per the requirement. So the definition of this switch case is, this switch case enables you to choose different scenarios as per your requirement. So if I try to run this, it will give some error. Case label not within a break statement, not within loop or switch. Okay, so this switch case, okay, so this switch case, ये just bracket जो है, this has to be whole inside this switch case bracket should include this default also. Switch case definitions should include this default and break also. Okay, now it is asking enter an operator. I can write any operator. Let's say I enter multiply. Then it will ask enter first number. I will write 8. Enter second number. I will write 7. लिख दिया इस पे. You choose to multiply given numbers and result is 56. Okay. You choose to divide numbers and result is 1.14. And it is also saying trying to perform invalid operations. So can you tell me what is happening in this code? It is actually going to multiply. After this, it is also going to divide, and it is also going to trying to perform invalid operation. Because see, as soon as this switch encounters an operator, it will direct the compiler to a particular case. It will perform the instructions written in that case, but the compiler will continue in next lines until you use break statement in each case. Until you use break statement in each case. So I have to, yes, I should write break after each statement, so that whatever the compiler will do as per the case, after compiling that information, after compiling that instruction, that has to be breaked. The flow should be breaked. So after adding break to all this, you can see if I choose to multiply, then after this compilation of line 27, the compiler will break. The switch case will break. It will not go into further lines, and it will directly come outside this curly bracket at 37. So yes, after each case, I have to write, in switch cases, after each case, I have to write break. Otherwise, it will go into next cases. Okay, so if I run this program now, it will ask me enter an operator. Let's say I again enter asterisk and enter first number. I will enter 8 and enter second number. I will enter 7, and it will say you choose to multiply given numbers and result is 56. And it is not going into next lines. Okay, see, as soon as I have choose this operator as asterisk, this switch case asterisk, this switch on line 17 is directing my compiler to go into the case of multiplication. So from line 17, it will directly go to line 27. It will go directly to line 27. See out, you choose to multiply given numbers and result is n1 into n2. And after displaying this line, after compiling this line 27, it will break. Break means it will come outside the switch. It will come outside the switch, and it will come directly to line 38, and it will exit. The program will be finished. Right. So in this way, yes, you can use switch cases when a particular problem demands multiple options of coding. If there is a particular condition, then this block of code has to be run. If that particular condition is like that one, then this particular code has to be compiled. So now this page would be more clear to you. I will give an value to this switch variable, to this switch, and depending on the value of this switch, depending on the value of this variable which is I am assigning to switch, the compiler will go to a particular case. The compiler will go to a particular case, and after that, after performing the block of that case, the compiler will come outside the switch operator. Okay, we had not seen the functioning of this default. Okay, again I will run this program. Suppose I enter minus and I enter 13 and 7. So it will show me you choose to subtract given numbers and result is 6. Okay, so again if I run and I enter, suppose I enter an operator hash, then yes, it is not defined. As soon as you are assigning a hash to this variable operator 1, then switch hash is not defined. There is no case corresponding to this hash keyword. So it will not go into any of the case, and it will go to the default and it will print trying to perform an invalid operation. But yes, it will ask, yes, of course, it will ask for numbers. Enter first number. Let's say I am entering 23. Enter second number. Let's say I am entering 34. But it will show trying to perform invalid operation because you have entered, because user has entered a symbol, a variable, a case which is not defined in the switch operations. Right. So now, with the help of these break statements, these continue statements, these switch statements, actually these are very core of these languages. These are very core part of these languages. In all the things, in all the applications you are using in mobiles, in all the web pages you are scrolling daily, all these things are actually used in this type of things. You can correlate. Okay. In many websites, you will see there are options of drop down menus. As soon as you choose one of the option, something different will happen. As soon as you operate select one of the options of drop down menu, some other things will happen. If you click on something, some other things will happen. So all these things are written with the help of these type of things. Okay, this is very simple case I have told you, but yes, with the help of this switch cases, these break statements, this continue statements, you can make a very good program which can ask a multiple number of things. Okay, so I have made, okay, first, okay, so first I will discuss this last thing, go to label, and then I will come to a very important, very good example of this switch cases. Okay, so this go to, this go to statement I can write is used for altering the normal sequence of program, is used in this go to statement, you can say, can alter the, can modify the, can change the normal sequence of program execution. Okay, by, I will also write this, by transferring control to some other part of the program. Till now, we have seen a compiler of this language, the compiler of the C++ compiler, will compile the code line by line. Line by line means it will compile line 16th. After this, it will compile line 17. After that, it will compile line 18, and so on. It will compile in sequence. But let's say, suppose you are making some program, and you just write to this thing, if a equal to 3, then if this condition is true, then directly go to, I will write case 1, go to case 1. Okay, I will, case 1 will confuse you, I will write just label. Go to label. Label means, go to means it is directing the compiler to go onto some specific location of this program. And okay, let's see, after that again some coding is there, and in last you are defining this label, where label is actually cout this thing, right? So, and after okay, after compiling all this label thing, it will again go back to this lines. So let's say this is 10th line, 11th line, 12th line, 13th line, 14th line, 15th line, 16th, 17th. So the normal sequence of C++ compiler you can see is something like this: 10, 11, 12, 13, 14, 15, 16, 17. It will go something like this. But in this case, now suppose it will go to line 10, 10, it will go to 11, it will go to 12, it will go to 13. And if this condition is true, if this condition is true, it will go to 14. But after 14, it will directly go to line 21 and 22, because in line 14 you are redirecting the compiler to go into some other part of the program, right? So it will, the compilation, line by line compilation will be something like this: 10, 11, 12, 13, 14. 14 के बाद directly it will go to 21, 22, and then again come back to 15, 16, right? So this go to statement is actually used to change, to alter the normal sequence of program execution by transferring the control to some other part of the program. कुछ टाइम के लिए अगर ये कंडीशन ट्रू हो जाता है, ये इस पॉइंट पे अगर आ जाता है गो टू दिस, तो वो डायरेक्टली किसी और जगह पे ले जाएगा, उसको कंपाइल करके वापस फिर वहीं पे लेके आएगा, राइट? So a simplest example is, okay, let's say a simplest example is, I will say, of this go to statement. Okay, I do not want all these things, I just want a single number. Let's say a single number. So if I'm, you suppose I am asking a number from the user, and these are of integer type, int n, and I want to check if this particular number is even or odd. If n percentage 2 equal to 0, then go to a label which I am saving, which I am saying is even, right? If this is even number, go to even, else go to odd, and then end the program, right? But now I have to define these labels. Even label is, even is cout, entered number is even. I just want to display this line in even label. Okay. So I can see, okay, and of course, like, okay, we'll write a cout statement. And I will use all this and. Now you can see this is very simple code in which I am asking a number from the user. I am storing that number into variable n. In line 12, I am checking whether that number is divisible by 2 or not. If that number is divisible by 2, I am writing go to even, else go to odd. So actually I am using two different labels with these go to statements, and the compiler will go deep into these labels if this condition is true, and in this odd label if this condition is false. And of course I have to define these labels, what exactly, which task these labels will do if compiler comes to them, right? And after this, in after last, okay, this line 17 I have written because I want to show you that after completing the given label, it will come back to this line 16 and then it will combine line 17. Okay, so let's see if it is running. Enter first number. Okay, that is still saying enter first number. I will write 17. So enter number is odd. Enter number is odd, and it is showing you, okay, it is directly showing you enter number is odd, right? So basically what happened is you entered 17 in line 12. In line 12 it this condition becomes false, so it came to skipping line 13, it came directly to 14 line. Else condition is true, yes, it will go to, compiler will go to 15th line, go to odd, right? And after this odd, it is going to directly, after this 15th line, it is directly going to line 23, and the module odd and the label odd is defined something like this: enter number is odd and enter number, and return 0, and hence it is exiting the code. So yes, in this, by this way you can use these go to statements and you can redefine the flow of the code. This was the very simple example, but yes, even in case of, you can merge these go to statements with the help of within the switch cases, which will give you an extremely advantageous position in performing some tasks. I will give you a question in assignment which will require these go to statements within the switch cases. Okay, so yes, these go to statements can be used to go into a particular section of a program. Another example of this go to, can you tell me any question in which we can use this go to statement? Can you define a problem in which we can use this go to statement? Okay, so let's say I want to display numbers from I is equal to 1 to 50, and each time when I becomes divisible by 5, I want to print this value of I is divisible by 5. Right? So I want to display 1 to 50, and whenever the value of I is divisible by 5 during this motion, whenever the value of I perfectly divisible by 5, then I want to show the value, this value of I is divisible by 5. This question you can also do by using a for loop. Okay, let's see if I can make this I is equal to 1 to I equal to 30 I plus plus, right? And we want to display Cout I, right? Now within this for loop I will write if I percentage 2 I percentage 5 equal to 0, then go to print statement, print text statement, go to print text label, right? And I'm closing this for loop. Then I will define this print text label as Cout statement, Cout statement, current value of I is perfectly visible by 5. Okay, let's see what will be the output of this program. So what I want to do is, okay, I do not want to take any number from the user. I have to declare this variable I. So what I want to do, what I am doing is, I am taking a variable I. I am changing it from, I am moving it from 1 to 30, and I am taking output of I in each iteration. I am also checking for between in each iteration. I am also checking if I is divisible by 5, then go to this label, and I am ending this for loop. So, and of course I have to define this label print text, and this print text has code of this text. Wow, current value of I is perfectly divisible by 5. Okay, so I should run this, it will show. Okay, 1 2 3 4 5. Wow, current value of I is perfectly divisible by 5. Right? But what I am saying is, in this problem, as soon as it go to print text, it is not coming back to this for loop. So can I use continue here? I don't know actually. So, but can I use continue? If I use continue, whether it will come back to this for loop? No, it is not coming back. It is not coming back to this. Okay, this you have to see how the compiler will come back to the for loop, because I am not using break statement. I am just sending the compiler to a different location of program, but it is not returning. Okay, can I write something like this go to line? Okay. Yes. Can I write directly? Go to third. Okay. go to 9, what it will do, it is changing to blue, but I don't know. Okay, no, it will not. This. Okay, this problem you have to see. This problem you have to see how we can rectify this. But you can see, okay, you can see as soon as this if statement, okay, else continue if, okay, can I use continue here? Okay, will it work if this continue and print text, and this will be your end of for loop? So if I run this, no, it is still not going back to this. After line 19, it is not going back for loop. It is just returning 0 and it is coming outside the for loop. Okay, that you have to see. This is your homework. You have to see how, after defining this label, how you can come back to the original position where you have defined this go to statement.